Today I'm going to show you how to make cranberry and blackberry jelly. I got a big bucket of cranberry apples, which are really small little apples. They are very, very sour, and so they come off the trees with the leaves, and you tidy them up and you take the good ones. You don't put in these ones the birds have eaten, and some of them are damaged, so those ones we push to the side and we use all these ones. And I give them a good wash in the sink, because we're not going to use the actual, what they call the flesh of the apple. We're only going to use the juice. Now they're actually rock hard, pure hard apples. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wash them, and then I'm going to put them into the bowls. Now I used to make this apple jam years and years ago with Granddad's mother, Josephine. She that showed me how to do it. But the thing about years ago, we had a big old range fire, and we had a big massive pot. It would probably be the size of these 4 pots here together, and we'd fill up the pot to the top with the apples, and then when we had them all ready, we would put them on the oven and boil them. So I'm going to show you all the blackberries. This is my friend Mary Helly that actually picked those for me. Now some of these are, again, it doesn't matter about some of the little, what do you call these things that stick on? They don't have to be taken off, the blackberries. And these don't have to be taken off. And I'll show you after a while why that is. Because everything goes into the big pot. And I won't give away any secret yet as to what happens after that. So in each one of these, I'm going to put in a few blackberries like so. And these then will go over onto the cooker. The 4 pots, I'm going to boil the 4 of them together, and they'll all the juice will come out. So that's all I can tell you yet as to making the jam. So round 2 will come later today. This is the second part of the video. We have boiled the apples and the blackberries together until they're like mush in the saucepan. You can see here that the consistency of it is like stewed apple, or that. It's kind of red. That the redness is from the blackberries. And it was a big job because the saucepans were a bit small. You need a big, huge saucepan, and the apples kind of covered with water. But we got there after a bit of a struggle. So we've set up this contraption, Liam, we call it here. In the old days, this is what they did, and we don't have any modern version of it here in the house. So it's a clean pillowcase, and we put 2 holes in it and ran a bar through it, and we put all the apple that had been stewed in here. So I'll show you how we put it in. It wasn't easy, but we got there. So all the apple goes down. It's actually a lot more than I thought it would produce. I thought the apples would shrink a little bit more, but they didn't, and that's a good thing. So there's the apple down in the bag. So what happens now is the apple is left in there, and we're going to hang it overnight. And what happens is the bag, as you can see already, it has started to drain out juice. Can you see the juice down there at the bottom? It's red. So that'll go on for like a couple of hours. It'll come out just one corner, just like that, but it'll stay going and going and going. And that's part 2 of the making of the crabapple and blackberry jelly. Hello everybody, this is Wednesday evening, second day, and I'm just trying to not get the camera too near my face. This evening we have got all the juice off the apples, and this is the bag that's left over here from the apples. It's quite heavy, but it's all the kind of fleshy part of the apple. This is the amount of juice we have, It's actually ended up being 2 litres, and this is kind of the consistency of it. It's like pouring. And we found out while we were doing it, I suppose, and we tasted an apple or two, that the apples are not that sour. So as a result of the apples not being that sour, we're going to half the amount of sugar that's going into the jelly. So here I have, I'm not going to use ordinary sugar that's made from beet. I'm going to use, it's an alternative sugar, and it's actually made from the sap of a birch tree. So it's called xylitol sugar. So it's a kind of a natural alternative to the regular sugar that we use. So we're going to use 1 kilo of sugar, and we have 2 litres of juice. So we just put it all in, the whole lot of it together, so it looks really like it's going to be super sweet. So I'm going to get a spoon, and we'll bring it over here to the cooker. Now it's going to take a little while. I'm not sure how long, but we have to bring it to the boil, and we check it to see if it's going to set, and I'll show you how to do that in part 4. Okie doke. Again, this is the 4th and last phase of the making the jam, or the jelly really. And I'm not 100% sure that it has worked very well for me, but to check if it's finished, if it's ready, you put the juice on a cold plate, and you just leave it for a minute to set, to kind of get cold, and see if it moves around the plate a lot. So if it doesn't move around your plate like that, that says that it's set. So as you can see as well from the colour in here, it's got much darker than when we poured it out earlier on. It was red, but now it's really, really dark. So I'm going to transfer it. Now this is really dangerous because this is boiling, boiling hot. So go the other side there, because I have to come at it from this side. So this is like boiling water. It would really give you a bad burn. So I'm going to start off. I have sterilised all these glasses earlier on in boiling water, and they're still a bit hot. So I'm going to use the jug, and very carefully we'll fill each jar. So I won't fill them up to the top first. I'll fill them up almost to the top. So I actually don't know how many we're going to have out of it, but we kind of guess that I might have enough jars here. So we fill them all up, and it'll probably take most of the night for those to actually cool down completely. And fingers crossed, and I mean fingers crossed, because I've never actually made this cranberry jelly before with this particular sugar. So it would always have set really well for me in the past, and I'm not sure if this is going to set, which would be disappointing because there's a lot of work in making it. You've only saw the nice parts of it, but there's a lot of work before it comes to this stage. So I don't know, Sam is coming into the video now, even though he had nothing to do with it at all. And he's been to the vet today, and he's got all his injections and his vaccines for the year. And now I've run out of jars. So that's it. Jam is done, and we'll have to find another jar. Okay.